What's up, guys? It's Saturday. We have a great workout today. It's going to be outside. It's going to be a beautiful day. Please go outside, get some sun. It's an ascending ladder of dumbbell snatches. So the goal is to give yourself exactly 15 minutes. You're going to start with 5 dumbbell snatches. And on your 5th snatch from ground to overhead, you're going to keep it there. And with one arm, obviously, with one dumbbell, you're going to walk 100 feet. So you measured out 25 feet yesterday or 50 feet. You can either do 25 feet 4 times, there, and back, makes 100 feet. Or you could obviously do 50 feet twice. You can go all the way, long ways, 50 feet, and then come back 50 feet. Or if you have 100 feet, you can, 3, 2, 1, go. You can do 5 snatches, do 100 feet all the way over there, do 10 snatches, do 100 feet back, 15, 100, 20, and it's going to go up in reps by multiples of 5 until time expires in 15 minutes. All right? The main focus is always keeping your chest up and your core tight. You're never down looking at the ground with your chest down. It's always important to keep your shoulders above your hips, right? So the dumbbell snatch, as we warm up with the movement, you always start with the deadlift. It's important that we're not curling this dumbbell. I know some of us have a lighter dumbbell based on what was available. See if you can go faster. See if you can keep the dumbbell off the floor for 15 minutes. I didn't put 15 minutes. It's an AMRAP of 15 minutes. Sorry. So again, you start with a deadlift. I'm not as concerned with both heads of the dumbbell touching the ground as I am keeping your chest up, right? So it just touch, stand a little higher. It just floats up a little higher, elbow high and outside, and then a power snatch. I don't necessarily recommend a whole bunch of muscle snatches. If you feel comfortable with it, do it. But what I mean is, I do want you to think about re-dipping and standing. You jump, catch, and stand. You're extending so high that you immediately just lock out and then stand. There's no slow turnover. There's no slow press out. You can alternate however many times you want. Don't necessarily recommend alternating every rep like we have done before. Today's not the case. See if you can do all 5 with your right hand. You might even consider doing all 10 with your left hand. Once it gets to the big numbers, you might consider switching hands, but try to hold on to it for as long as you can. Obviously, on your last snatch, you keep it there and you start walking. Obviously, you're keeping your core tight. Try not to hyperextend and start leaning it back like this. As far as warm-up goes, I want you to run around the block, or at least run to the corner or the end of your street. Hopefully you have a distance measured. I want you to go 50 feet of a Samson stretch, meaning you're gonna lunge forward, knee to the ground, extend, and then walk on up. Lunge forward, extend, and then walk on up. 50 feet, and then a deep lunge stretch where you reach on down. Now the focus is the front leg as you flex the hip. You're gonna move on to the seal stretch. So today of all days, we always stretch our front compartment, right? We do a lot of work in the back. We jump, we squat, we deadlift, we lunge. Everything we do is here, including our posterior chain. And it oftentimes, the front gets tight because that's what causes the tilted, the old man back, right? So we are always doing some version of a Samson stretch or a quad hip stretch. If you've ever had your hips lock up, it's miserable. We want to try to avoid it. Today specifically includes a lot of bending over and standing up. Bending over and standing up. So please take the warm up and the stretches seriously today of all days, always, but today we are going to spend a lot of time on our hips. So after your 50 feet of deep lunge stretch, I want you to go down to a seal stretch where, again, hang the hips down, maybe twist, look over your left shoulder, twist, look over your right shoulder, but stay here. See if you can stay here for a minute. Just relax, hang your hips down. Once you go from the seal stretch, I want you to go to a straddle hamstring stretch. So the exact opposite. Now you're gonna flex the hip, trying to find tension in the back. Go to one side, go to the other side, and then I want you to go to the seal stretch again. Seal to straddle ham, and then a seal again, one more time. Going from flexion to extension one more time. And then once you've done that, I want you to grab a broomstick. want you to grab something. If you have a PVC pipe, awesome, but most people have a broomstick. See if you can still, do a pass through. Going on to an arm behind or an overhead stretch. Pull your chest down, go directly overhead. Next is the arm behind stretch. You can grab it as high as you can. And again, keep your chest up, arm directly behind you. Loosen up your shoulders, loosen up your hips, get your family involved. Today's fun because we're all going to finish at the same time. It's only 15 minutes. Get as far as you can. See if you can keep the dumbbell off the floor for as long as possible. Obviously, the overhead hold, the faster you go, the less time it's going to take you. So, and probably you're not going to be running with a dumbbell overhead, but heck, see if you can kind of pick up the pace a little bit, and then you can set it down, right? The slower you go, the longer it's going to take to hold it up there, the longer you have to hold it up there. So, a couple things to keep in mind. Keep your chest up. If you have to focus on something in front of you, please do so. Pretend like I'm in front of you saying, I want to see the logo on your t-shirt, meaning chest up as opposed to down. It's important to remember that, right? So especially on that last one, everybody's like, 24, 25, dunk. In this case, on your last rep, just keep it overhead. So you might, in that case, if you feel like you're going to fail or you're not ready for the overhead carry, say if I'm going to 25, I might even consider breaking at 23 or 24, resting, and then hitting my last rep so I can keep it there and then go overhead, right? So you don't want to finish your set it down, and then have to snatch it extra time to go the carry, right? Try to get after it. See if you can stay in this, the big sets. See if you can hold on to 25 in a row. See if you can hold on to 30 in a row. And then sure enough, 35 comes next. You can switch hands however many times you'd like. If you need an extra object, get a jug of laundry detergent for your child, or a rock. We can carry overhead anything. Again, if you think you have too light of an object, see if you can keep it off the ground for 25 or for 15 minutes. And again, ground to overhead. Get after it. Looking forward to seeing it. Have a good one. Try harder.